Hello friends, welcome. In today's update, we'll cover the key developments from the past 12 hours. We have quite a few important updates to share, so let's dive in. Tensions between Russia, its allies, and Western countries continue to rise. Reports indicate that Belarus is preparing to receive its first Arashnik missile system, which is already on its way. President Lukashenko of Belarus responded to questions about the incoming military equipment. Based on our sources, this system will soon be deployed in Belarus. For example, over the past day, the Polish embassy in Minsk advised its citizens to leave Belarus immediately and recommended that all travel to the country be avoided due to escalating tensions. If Russia deploys its Arashnik system in Belarus, it would significantly increase its strike capability. Currently, Russia only has one testing site, located at Kapustin Yar, which is over 1,600 kilometers from the Polish border. By contrast, positioning the system in Belarus would place it less than 300 kilometers from the border, dramatically reducing flight time and increasing potential risk to NATO countries. This marks a major step in rising tensions just ahead of Moldova's upcoming parliamentary elections this weekend. Reports indicate that thousands of Moldovan citizens have received military summonses from the local conscription offices, raising concerns about regional security and possible escalation. Political clashes between pro-Russian and pro-Western groups are expected over the weekend. Russia is likely to take actions to influence power in Moldova, while Western countries will oppose any attempts to undermine the state. Ukraine's president recently adopted a law allowing the use of military forces abroad, further complicating the situation. Clearly, tensions between Russia, its allies, and Western countries are intensifying. Turning to Ukraine, recent Ukrainian strikes have targeted Russian facilities. Over the past 24 hours, another oil refinery in southern Russia was heavily damaged, most likely through a combination of naval and drone attacks. Ukraine appears to be using Navy drones to get close to the shore and launch FPV drones against Russian oil and energy facilities. These attacks continue to disrupt Russian fuel supplies, driving gasoline prices higher and creating serious economic challenges. Additionally, a strange accident occurred in the Pskov region where a truck collided with a freight train at a railway crossing, derailing 18 tank cars and igniting a fire. The locomotive crew was injured, and train services were suspended. Incidents like this highlight ongoing logistical and infrastructure issues in Russia. On the ground in Ukraine, the Zaporizhzhia region remains a hotspot. Since early September, Russian forces have been conducting airstrikes and bombings in the city of Zaporizhzhia. Recent reports indicate that a Russian Su-34 bomber was shot down by Ukrainian air defenses, likely revealing the position of their Patriot system. Russian forces responded with an Iskander missile strike, destroying the air defense system and radar. While costly for both sides, these engagements demonstrate the ongoing intense fighting in the region. In the Zaporizhzhia and Dnipro areas, Russian forces have shifted focus from the south toward northern fronts. Pro-Ukrainian sources report Russian advances toward Dnipro, aiming to secure key settlements and potentially outflank Ukrainian positions. Artillery strikes and bombings continue to target farms and other facilities, likely in preparation for further offensive operations. In the Pakhovka and Konstantinovka areas, fighting continues with heavy artillery exchanges. Ukrainians have reinforced their positions, but Russian forces are also deploying additional troops, creating intense clashes. While control over southeastern Konstantinovka remains contested, Russian forces are gradually advancing. In summary, the past 12 hours have seen rising tensions in Belarus, continued Ukrainian strikes on Russian infrastructure, and ongoing ground operations in Zaporizhzhia, Dnipro, and Konstantinovka. The situation remains volatile, and further developments are expected in the coming days. That's all for this update. Remember to stay informed and remain aware of the global situation. Thanks for watching and subscribe to more latest update.